Hi, I'm Sean O'Neill, a graduate STEM communication designer at the Colorado School of Mines. The topic of this resource is how to use infographics in a report. Infographics present research data in a pictorial form. When done appropriately, infographics make data easier to understand and papers more interesting to read. Additionally, good infographics help us create presentations that grab and hold the audience's attention. STEM research often produces data of general interest to the public, but this data is frequently presented in a way that a layperson may not easily understand a researcher's conclusion. Infographics highlight the key point of your research and make it accessible to a wider audience.
The first step in creating your infographic is choosing the data you would like to communicate to your audience. This is your opportunity to think about the story you want to tell. Comb through your existing data or tables to find the results that support your message. For this tutorial, we will be creating an infographic to support the thesis that global climate change is having an impact on the food chain. Selecting data is easier if you already have interesting information available in table format. For this exercise, we will be using a table from a Colorado Parks and Wildlife survey of trout populations. Once you have decided on the data source, whether it be your own research or another reputable piece of scientific research, you must look at what information the data contains and how you can use that data to support your message or conclusion. Our example shows that there have been dramatic declines in the population of several species of trout in most of Colorado's major rivers. The report blames the decline on global warming, so this research could be used to support claims that global warming is having an impact on the food chain. The problem is that this research is presented in a manner that is too detailed for direct use in your own paper. It has broken data down by species and by river system, resulting in too much information for direct quotation in your paper. Therefore, we will first simplify by selecting one of the tables in the research that shows a clear decline in trout population. We can then emphasize our point by dramatizing the data in that table. In Table 1, data is shown for 3 species of trout. Since all 3 species showed declines, we can next simplify the message by selecting the data for just one of those species and let our audience generalize the conclusion as being applicable to all the fish in the river. For our infographic, we will choose to display the decline in rainbow trout in the Fraser River. Select the best chart format to represent data. Once you have selected a data source, you should think about how you want to represent that data graphically. The data in our trout population table is well suited to a bar type graph, but infographics can also make use of pie charts, which work well for percentages, or we can visually emphasize specific values with varying bubble sizes to illustrate relative size. For our exercise, we will use a bar type chart that uses stacked trout icons to represent the population for each of the 3 annual surveys on which we want to report. For your infographic, you may just use solid colors if you choose. If this is for an assignment or journal, please reference their individual requirements.
In terms of equating images with data, please see the handout for more information and for resources to design your own infographic.
Remember to focus on the key point of your message and avoid cluttering with too much data or lengthy text. Simplicity equates to effectiveness with infographics. Every element should convey information. Try to use colors and fonts that have meaning, but be simple and consistent with your choices. Keep in mind that you may end up resizing your infographic for different uses, so don't include any text that is too small to read if the image is shrunken. Unless your data comes from your own research, you should also be sure to credit the original source.